Hi, Keisha Dent, certified mindset hypnotist and the author of Life Change Now. I hope you're enjoying the rest of your summer as it's winding down, or the rest of your winter if it's the southern hemisphere where you are. But welcome. So today I want to talk about mindset. So when I tell people what I do, a lot of times I do get a question. Okay, what does that mean? What do you do? Mindset hypnotist. So mindset, the way that I see it, is really how you use and apply your thoughts, your perceptions, and your responses to your life. Your mindset is basically your general mental outlook on life. It's your general mental outlook on your life and your experiences. And I use hypnosis to be able to change that. Now, we generally tend to view mindset as something that isn't that important, but in truth, it's something that's so vital. It's so important to have the greatest amount of peace, of contentment, of happiness that you want to have in your life. And I really look forward to the day when this is actually taught in our primary education system, because I do believe it is that important. It can make all the difference between being able to live a life that makes you happy and makes you feel very fulfilled, and making you live a life that makes you feel very miserable. And this is even without changing any other aspect of your life. Two people can live very similar lives, and one person has unlocked so much more happiness, achievement, peace, connection, and the other person does not. And oftentimes the only thing that makes that difference is mindset. So it's really important to constantly work on ours. Okay, so mindset generally is seen as having either a fixed energy about it or a growth energy about it. So we will often talk about having a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset. So what are the differences between the two? Which do you want to get? You probably have an idea of which is much more useful. And how do you know what you have? So when we talk about a fixed mindset is a static, stagnant, limited, in place mindset, and a way of thinking and a way of approaching your world and your experiences. A fixed mindset, in my opinion, is predominantly focused on the past, and especially on past pain and the threat of repeating past pain. If I had to give a fixed mindset a shape, I would say it's a box with no windows and no doors, and it just stays that way. Okay, it's a shape that has been formed already in the past, and it does not form in anything else. It has no windows or no doors because it wants to primarily, again, keep itself separate and protected from other things around it. A fixed mindset, again, is a very static, stagnant, limited, rigid way of looking at the world and your experiences in the world. A fixed mindset says there is only one right way to do anything. It has a very binary way of thinking, as in there's only two choices. One is definitely right and one is definitely wrong. A very black and white approach to the world. Now, in many ways, this is actually can be a great thing. For example, for the subject of murder. Okay, yeah, there's a definitely right way to approach that, and there's a wrong way, right? But it actually has huge issues when we approach it through, say, what can make me happy? Okay, because there are multiple multiple choices that can be made that can make you happy. When you approach what can give me more love and opportunity in my life? What can make me more money in my life? Right? There are multiple ways to do that, but a binary approach excludes most of those. A fixed mindset is also really characterized by a resistance to learning, right? So not wanting to learn new things because you've already learned everything that there is to know. It's that sort of, well, I already know that sort of stance. Why bother learning anything new? Because I already know everything that I need. A fixed mindset is also characterized by a resistance to trying new things and is easily stopped by discomfort. So whenever if you have a fixed mindset and you're trying to go after something and you become a little bit uncomfortable, or hit a wall of discomfort, you're more likely to stop. A fixed mindset looks constantly for ways that things won't work. Okay? And this is not just having a healthy critical state of mind, which is a wonderful thing, but literally shooting down options and making excuses for why things won't work. It is a more negative and pessimistic viewpoint and perception. A fixed mindset, and those who have a fixed mindset, are highly sensitive to fear. They tend to let fear stop them and tend to live their life on how they can best keep safe and shelter. Now, as just a comparison, and to further describe what a fixed mindset is, our thinking tends to become more fixed the older we get. We tend to start out when we're very young as having a growth mindset, because this is how we develop into human beings, and we must have that in order to survive. But as we get older, our thinking, our perception, the way we see the world tends to fix and tends to crystallize and tends to solidify into a certain way. An exaggeration, of course, is when we think of older people, right? Very older people, whose a stereotype is the older person who doesn't like computers, never wants to learn any new technology, is very distrustful of anything new, and wishes it was 50 years ago. All right, so that is a very good example of a very fixed mindset. Okay. Now, a growth mindset, on the other hand, in my opinion, is predominantly spending much more time being really occupied with the present and the future, okay? A growth mindset is much more flexible, much more adaptable, much more able to change. If I had to give a shape to a growth mindset, it would be actually a changing shape. So it would actually change depending on the circumstances, and it would have windows and doors. Why? Because a mindset that is really able to grow and to adapt is able to change according to what it needs to be. Is able to have more of a lighthearted approach to life and more of an optimistic approach to life. It also has windows and doors because it is open to new ideas, open to seeing things in a different way. A growth mindset says that there are many good ways to do things, and not just one way, not just two ways. It has a non-binary approach in the sense that it is very much accepting of options and choices and paths, and knowing that some choices may work best for some people at certain times and other choices best for other people at different times. A growth mindset is open to learning. It's open and willing to always be a student in life and is not afraid to make mistakes and sees mistakes as a way to learn. A growth mindset is a willingness to try new things and to not be so preoccupied with looking like you're in charge and looking like you know what you're doing all the time. That sometimes you have to be a student again. Sometimes you actually have to be a child again. A growth mindset is willing to push past discomfort and through fear, and it looks for ways that things can work. It looks for possibilities. It looks for ways that things can be unlocked. It is solution, based on its solutions, more so. Again, a growth mindset is much more optimistic because of these things. And it's less likely to be permanently stopped by discomfort and fear. Okay, so we tend to be in growth mindset earlier on in life. All right, so again, if we look at children and early adolescence, we're still learning, and so we're open to new ideas, we're open to new influences, we're open to trying new things. And of course, as we get older, this tends to change, and we tend to choose something and fixate on it and lock that into ourselves and lock other options out. So why is having a fixed mindset an issue? Well, basically because it says no to life. It says no to doing new things, to bring new things into your life. And this is a problem if you want and desire things that you don't have yet. Because what we want and desire is most often found outside of our experiences, into the unknown, we have to be comfortable with changing, our thoughts, changing our behaviors, our thinking in order to get more of that. A fixed mindset says no to life. And fixed mindsets are often a result of hardships, of pain, or a fear of these things. And yeah, they can be generationally inherited. They can be more likely to occur when you are around other people that have that sort of mindset. A fixed mindset, it's important to remember, is really designed to keep you safe and in place. So if what you want is not that, if it's change, and most of us want change in one way or another, then a fixed mindset is an issue, okay? And it needs to be addressed. Now, what are some signs that you may have a fixed mindset? Well, first of all, it's so possible that, again, this in itself isn't really a black and white issue, and it's more of something just to be kind of aware of, more than it is we categorize and put people into categories. And it's totally possible you can actually have a fixed mindset in one area and more of a growth mindset in another. An example is you could be really, really good at unlocking change and bringing in solutions in the area of, say, your career, but be very, very closed-minded and stagnant and fixed in socially, which expresses itself in high intolerance for people that are different than you. So fixed mindsets also tend to more deeply and commonly and easily show up in very religious, very conservative, and very strict households and families and communities, okay? As just an example. Though, of course, they can develop all sorts of ways as well. So as just some ways to ask yourself, is my own fixed mindset getting in my way and causing an issue? It's just to ask yourself some questions. Number one, do you frequently say no to new ideas and new perceptions, other voices outside of yourself, and different information and incoming ideas? Do you frequently make excuses and push for why things won't work? When people try to give you solutions to the problems in your life, do you usually shoot them down? Do you usually come up with all the million different reasons why that's just not going to work? Why nothing's going to work for you, and you'd rather complain about it? Do you shoot down your own goals and your own ideas? I've seen this so many times when people will actually present their own wonderful solutions and ideas to their own problems, because the mind is incredible like that, only for them to shoot it down and end up back where you're at. In general, if you are experiencing a circular stuckness where you're trying to make a change, but you're not, it's really important to become mindful and ask yourself, is it my own fixed mindset about this issue that could be keeping me in place and keeping me from what I want? And it's as simple as just, again, practicing mindfulness, being more aware, self-aware of your own patterns, and being open, asking other people, what do they hear you say? What comes out of your mouth a lot? Are you shooting down solutions from other people or from yourself? And again, it takes more of a growth mindset to accept criticism from other people outside of yourself as well. Okay, for sure, definitely. And but it's worth it always, knowing that life has so much for you to offer. But life is all about the present moment, and in the present moment is eternal possibility. The stories we tell ourselves on why we can't have what we want keep us stuck. And it's really important to open up to that and to challenge that, disrupt it, and replace it with something else to get what you want. All right, so that's it for today. I don't want this to get too long. I think it's too late already. But if you are interested in finding out more, and if you're interested in also changing and becoming more open to change, more open to getting the things that you want, hypnosis is a wonderful way to do so. And you can check out and get more information at my website, newworldhypnosis.com, including some other resources as well. You can sign up for a free consultation and find out more and get all your questions answered, okay? All right, thank you so much, and that is it. And remember always, in order to change your life, you must first change yourself, starting with your mindset. Thank you so much, and be well, and I'll talk to you soon.